so the importance of drilling. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard what drilling is, but I'm sure if you're involved in this game or if you've ever played any sports in your life, you've heard about how important drilling is. Drilling is that monotonous thing that you do over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Even when you think you can do it right, you get told to do it more and more and more and more. Now, there's the reason behind this, there's a science behind it, there's a methodology behind it. And I need to explain to people why it's so important to drill. If you understand the science behind it, you'll probably be more likely to do your drilling. So it's a very simple process. The way I like to explain it is this: you go to gym, you want bigger biceps, you go and you do bicep curls. When you start off, you're doing 5 kgs, then eventually you're doing 10 kgs and the biceps getting bigger, then eventually you're doing 15 kgs and the biceps getting bigger, and then eventually you're doing 20, and then yeah baby, I got puppies. And you know, you can see it. So you work harder, you put in more effort, and you don't mind doing reps upon reps, because you know, yeah, the more reps I get in, the bigger my biceps are going to get. So it's a visual thing. And now the problem comes here when it comes to fighting or sport and skill set as such. When it comes to skill sets, you can't see the progression, you can't see the growth, you can't see the muscles growing. So what you need to do is you need to realize that the same thing is happening inside your body. So for example, if I'm going to throw the jab, the more I throw the jab, the more I throw the jab, the better my muscles get at it. The stronger those specific muscles get at throwing the jab, the stronger those tendons get. Now, when I start throwing the jab, I'm crap at it. My hand comes back low. I'm jabbing like this, and my hand, before I'm jabbing, I'm pulling back before I'm jabbing. My body mechanics are all wrong. So we basically need to improve the musculature. We need to improve the tendons. We need to improve the sorry, muckies everywhere. We need to improve my body mechanics of throwing the jab, and then obviously I need to learn and tweak and perfect the little things to correct it. Now, what happens inside of the body, we've got something called deep learning, and deep learning is when we really focus on becoming better. We focus on getting that technique right. I love to tell my students that perfect repetition creates perfect habit. Everybody says repetition creates habit. Yeah, but shit repetition creates shit habit. So, you know, you got to make a choice on, do I want shit habits or good habits? One thing you got to remember is perfect repetition creates perfect habit. Good repetition creates good habit, and shit repetition creates shit habit. So you need to decide for yourself. So even if it's slower, even if it's about technique. So when we're doing these drills, rep it. Don't worry about power. Don't worry about speed. Worry about technique. When you're throwing a 1-2, when you're throwing a right, when you're throwing an uppercut, when you're working your footwork, everything that you do, rep it with perfect repetition. Chin down, throw the shoulder. When I throw a hook, get my elbow up. My hand must be on my cheek when I throw my right. All of those things need to be repped. Don't be scared to stand in front of a bag like this with my hands tight and throw 1,000 jabs. Bam, there, bam, there, bam, there, bam, there. Watch yourself in the mirror. When I'm doing this, I don't want to see bam. I don't want to see load. Bam. I don't want to see step. Your body needs to go from neutral. Boom, there. Extend the shoulder. Bam, there, bam, there, bam, bam, there, bam, bam, there. Those are things that you need to repeat. Drill your combos, drill your sequences. Never that simple saying of don't drill it till you get it right, don't drill it till you no longer get it wrong. Those are very important things to remember. These are the reason we drill, is so that when we are tired and our muscles are exhausted, and this thing up here, our little computer, our little hardware, our little hard drive, can't think anymore, that we can do these things without thinking. Very important. That is why we drill. It is impossible to think when you're exhausted. That's why drilling becomes so important. Being able to think when you're tired, being able to do complicated movements or basic movements when you're tired, when your body's under duress, when adrenaline's flowing. These are things that become instinctive when you've drilled it enough. Repetition creates habit, and more importantly, perfect repetition creates perfect habit. So don't be scared to drill.